Sundowns, go Sundowns, go! Go Sundowns, go Sundowns, go! Hey, look up, Kiman oh! Hey, Kiwa Parabaskai! Better, Kiman oh! How fit Kiwa Parabaskai! You know the sky is the limit! Sky is the limit! Sky is the limit! Hey! You know the sky is the limit! Sky is the limit! Sky is the limit!
Tonight on Sky's the Limit, we test Franklin Cale's acrophobia, ride with Miss Sundowns for the day, have a one-on-one with one of Mamelodi Sundowns' longest-serving members, and go behind the scenes of the title track for Sky's the Limit. But first, we meet one of the Brazilians' newest players.
My name is Teko Modise. I'm a midfielder of Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. Best professional game was in 2001, if I'm not mistaken. I got to know if I'm going to play a day before. And I got cramps in, I think, 78th minute because I was running too much, you know, just running, just enjoy playing. But I mean, it was nice. And then I was playing with senior guys as well, so they started teaching me stuff, and then I grew gradually. Going through practice, it's different now. Unlike before when I was first starting, you know, when I first starting, I was like going through emotions like, it's one of those training sessions, if you don't feel good, it's okay. You can always play better. I realized, you know, that you train is the way you play, because I mean, if you don't put in much effort in training, believe me, in the game it will show. I think I made good career choices by going to Super Sport. I got game time under a wonderful coach. And then I went to Pirates as well. Things were looking great for me. I was playing regularly. So I think coming here is always something that was going to happen. But I think now I came at the right time.
The challenges a footballer faces with a club move can be difficult, especially when the opposition is the team he played for less than a month ago.
Playing against my former teammates was hectic. It was difficult as well because, I mean, playing against my friends, playing against people that you never thought they would play against. And I think I've grown, I've become a better player.
How were you received at Sundowns?
I think I'm fortunate because most of the guys I've been with them in the national setup, you know, I'm used to most of the guys, and then it made things much easier for me to come and join the team. So I didn't feel like I'm in a new team at all. From the day of the game, you know, in the morning, I switch on. I don't wait for 5 minutes before the game. I cut myself from my outside world, and I make sure that maybe I sleep or listen to music. As a footballer, obviously, you can't rely on talent only. You need to take care of your body. I'm not somebody who works at the office where I need to just sit down and look at the computer. You rely on your energy, you rely on your body to do wonders for you. And I remember a wise coach of mine, he used to say we must invest in your football because that's all you have. But at that time it didn't make sense because I was still young. But now I realized that by him saying you must invest in your football, it means you must take your football very seriously. You must work extra hard. Wow, this is the league that I want to play. Not knowing who's going to be the number one, not knowing who's going to be relegated. And this is fun as well, and this makes us as players as well to work even harder. You can see even the national team is changing. There's always different players in the national team. That shows that the quality of the players as well is going up. My best moment as a pro bowler, I think playing in the national team, you know, being recognized internationally as well, you know, traveling with the team, national team, you know, it's something that you can't even explain, you know, and it's something that I never thought that I'll achieve anyway. And then now, looking back now, I've played more than 50 games for the national team, so that's an achievement and so on, so I'm really, really grateful and honored. For me, what I would say to the youngsters today is get somebody that will guide you. Football, it's not as easy as it looks in TV. You need emotional support, you need somebody to advise you financially. If you're working hard, the results will come. They might not come today or tomorrow, but at the end you'll get the results. You just need to work hard and then you'll see things will come.
The climb to the peak of a football career is not easy. Without the right guidance and motivation, the view from the top can be short-lived. Let's hope the journey at his new home takes him even higher. Franklin Cale is known as one of the fiercest players in the league, but as his wife tells us, he's definitely the opposite off the field.
I am afraid of heights, but at least I've got my wife with me.
I'm June Cale, wife of Franklin Cale.
I have to say thank you to Impo. They woke me up very, very early.
The alarm went off and I snoozed for another 5 minutes, and the alarm went off again and snoozed for another 5 minutes. And I told Franklin, let's get up because otherwise we're going to be late.
Very excited, and I think she's more excited than me.
Never having been on a hot air balloon before, the Cales got more anxious as they watched the team prepare for flight.
The butterflies are kicking in now. I don't know if I'm more scared or excited, but let's see when I get on.
I think it's going to be a lovely experience.
I took him once to Goldie City and he only went on the Anaconda and he said he's finished for the rest of the day. So I'm quite surprised that he actually agreed, because I had to beg him, please let's go, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. He's like, my vrouw, my vrouw. So my vrouw so foot, come please. I think he's probably going to hold on to me very tight and close his eyes all the time. I know he's going to close his eyes all the time.
The Cales were lucky enough to have the legendary Bill Harrops of Harrops Balloon Safaris pilot the trip himself. After a short safety briefing, it was time for takeoff.
It's going to be more than fun.
It's not bad at all.
Well, it's a dream of many, many people. People aspire to go ballooning. You get a lot of people extremely interested in coming.
That's the GPS.
Is it the GPS?
Yeah. Just gives me speed we're going and the direction and the height. I've got the other instruments here as well, but that's an easier one to handle. But you've got to be able to use these instruments as well, because if this fails, you've got to be able to handle it.
The pilot, if he's skillful or lucky like I was this morning, guide the balloon where you're going to go by taking different heights, different winds, call them wind roads, and you use those wind roads to get to where you'd like to be.
Before the days of GPS, sat-nav and radio communications, a hot air balloon pilot relied only on one traditional wind instrument, the speedometer.
Ah, the speedometer. Yeah, well, we have what we call a speedometer. You want to see what the wind is doing below you. So you spit gently over the side and watch which way it drifts. And then you'll know if you go down there, that's the way you're going to drift. Because yeah, there's other things. We can watch the smoke, we can watch shadows of clouds and that sort of thing. But with a speedometer, if you go down, you will always go in the expectorated direction.
Why didn't we come in our honeymoon?
On the tree there.
Huh?
The,
honeymoon, it's nice. Yeah, it will be a good experience.
I think what makes our relationship work is the friendship. We're so compatible in many ways, and the way we understand each other. I mean, and we come from two different backgrounds. I mean, if you must know the backgrounds we come from, people always thought that our relationship wouldn't work, but you know, we were friends, we became friends. And I always said, you know, the day when we get married, I said, we need to stay friends. Because friends can tell each other, they share everything with each other. And as long as we're going to stay friends, I think things will work.
I'm just a normal, regular guy, you know. Off the field, I'm actually most of the time with my wife and our daughter. We go out to movies on a regular basis, maybe go sit at the coffee place or maybe go play some games. I do play a big role in Casey's life. She also loves playing football. She wants to be a professional footballer, and I told her always that she must just be herself and go after the dream, you know. She's not actually a supporter of Franklin Cale. She's a big Ajax supporter and a Teko Modise fan.
Having transferred from Ajax Cape Town a year ago, the Cales have had to adjust to life in the fast lane of Jersey.
Joburg is treating me well. It's just I miss the beachfront, you know, the sea view. That's all.
If you want to know who packs the most powerful shot in the PSL, just ask national keeper Itumeleng Khune. But just don't ask him to point, as Franklin Cale has already broken his fingers once with a powerful shot.
It's just a normal thing. I think I grew up with it, you know, because when I was young, at a young age, I used to score goals from the halfway line.
Soccer's a game, it doesn't always go your way. It's difficult and it is tough mentally. And when you do have down days, I tell him, you know, always think back and say to yourself, I've been there. Because the lifestyle in which he grew up in poverty. So I always remind him, look, you took yourself out of that and you put yourself in a better place. So don't think about it. Don't go back no matter what downfall you have. Just go forward. It just makes you a stronger person.
It's every young footballer's dream to eventually compete in the big leagues. But even the ones who get there still have dreams beyond their achievements.
My dream was to go overseas one day, play for my country, represent my country, which I did. I know there's still more in me to give to the country.
For getting up in the wee hours of the morning and convincing our football star to fly in a basket, we set up a special breakfast to say thank you to Mrs. Cale and complete the experience. But because most men, let alone soccer players, are not the biggest romantics in the world, Sky's the Limit called in an expert to put together something special and give our viewers some helpful hints.
I think the problem is we get so wrapped up in our minds what's going to look good, and then we end up doing it over the top. Whereas just doing simple things will actually turn out the best, and use the colors around you. That's the most important thing. If you like it, then she'll like it, and usually it's more about the effort that you put in. Looks like so. Even if it looks terrible, if she's smiling, then you've done well.
The experience was overwhelming. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. The views were spectacular. It reminded me of Cape Town so much, and I think for a moment there I wanted to cry because I miss Cape Town. It was so quiet, away from the hustle and bustle in Johannesburg. It was so tranquil.
Well, I'm actually happy for myself. I did it. The day went off well. And thank you, Sundowns, for making this day possible. And thanks a lot. Sky's the limit.
Hey, look up, give on all. Hey, give up on our sky. Better, give on all. How feet, have up on our sky. You know the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Hey, you know the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Yellow is the color. Yeah, it's got the power to reach the top spot, and the opposition shall suffer. They never comfortable. They know winning against us is impossible. Whoa, whoa. Teko Modise.